Hi everyone, this is John doing the YouTube Pagan Challenge for week 40. Yeah, 40. Which is, do you believe in angels, demons, angel/demons slash fairies, etc. So I'm going to say yes. Um, I guess the etc. is kind of, yeah, there was an etc. on that, right? Etc. Kind of opened it, as in like various spirits that do things, yes. As for like what an angel is, Stuart Pearce's great thing where he's like, the short answer is I don't know, but my long answer is they're messengers, which I get that. And some people say that's why they've appeared with wings for a very long time because carrier pigeons used to be the form travel, so they would appear as humans with wings to people so that they would understand. Do I believe in demons? Yeah. Sort of contradicting my last video when I said darkness isn't necessarily evil, but I guess we would classify those as beings that maybe don't have the best interest in mind for people. Negative. And those would be things that like where you would get attachments or possessions. And I know how most shamanic people define possessions just like if you've gotten it. It's like what most people in New Age and pagan would call just an attachment in your aura. That's considered a possession because it even if it can affect you slightly, that's considered not good. So I think I stated in another video about the idea of heart-centered depossession work, which is all about just like realizing that everything does have that divine spark in it, and you can kind of ignite that and expand it more. And how one little frog, yeah, little frog, he's a shamanic practitioner in northern, central northern Massachusetts. I think he's kind of, I've heard of him in that area when I was at college. He talks about sort of just like it's like blowing up a balloon and then it floats out of people's energy fields. As for like if they're just out to always be nasty, I don't know, because I think that word we use it too much and it's kind of jumbled things in there that maybe don't necessarily belong there. Like you could have some poltergeisty thing in your house and it's really that you've just got like a pissed off nature spirit or there's a fairy march going through, something like that. So as for demons, fairies, I do. Nature spirits is what I'm using now because like I don't exactly know if there's a difference between elves and fairies and dwarves and gnomes and stuff like that, or calling them elementals because they seem to be very, I don't know, or maybe they appear to me to be kind of homogenized or all the same. I don't know. I do believe in them. A fun encounter with them was over the summer. We go on overnights with the kids sometimes, and so I was in my hammock, and so the place we were at, it was Stairs Mountain. There was another mountain we could have done, but for reasons we only did Stairs, and so that was destroyed by Hurricane Irene, and that force hasn't exactly come back yet, so it was completely quiet, which like if you've ever in the forest, that's very kind of spooky. I think the one thing I heard was like I put my sleeping pad below my hammock, so I have like a dismount point. Um, I heard something like scuttle across that in the night. But so yeah, the wind was blowing consistently. Remember that fact; it's important for later on in the story. And kept hearing voices around. From what I understood, we were the only shelter there. There might have been tent things. I don't know. But I also saw lights that I thought was like other campers' flashlights, like people who weren't with us. Then I remember waking up at one point and hearing like he's gonna turn on the light, 1, 2, 3, and then I turned on the light and they were like run. So that was interesting. Adjusted my hammock. I wasn't sleeping well, mainly because I have like a woven hammock. It's not like an actual camping hammock that everyone else seems to have. Which, if I go back next summer, I'll go to the discount store and buy one because those things are great. I love hammocks. But yeah, so the wind's just blowing at a consistent rate and just blowing right through. And I might have been fine if my sleeping bag was like my 20 below sleeping bag I have, but this one really wasn't cutting it. But then I was surrounded by what looked like kind of androgynous children-esque, and they were giggling. Oh, because before it felt like someone was pushing my hammock, which is kind of creepy, but like, my life's so weird, I'm just used to stuff like that happening now. And they said, sort of in unison, it was like, you should probably go to the shelter. If you don't know, in like the Appalachian Mountains and the White Mountains, they have shelters, which is like 3 walls and then like a slanted roof. And that's nice because you don't have to put up a tent inside. You can just sleep there, which it's really great. And the wind wasn't, you couldn't feel the wind blowing through that. But they were like, or you'll get hypothermia. So it was like, so I ended up moving into the shelter, which was good. And ended up falling asleep, but like, super wanted hammock. So that didn't work out. So that's my encounter with what I call the nature spirits. Yeah, and then, because as I've said before, I believe in like animals having spirits, minerals having spirits, plants having spirits. And, you know, it is a human thing to want to like classify everything, and some things I don't know if we can, or if the English language doesn't have enough breadth of words to do that. So that's my thoughts on that, and a fun/weird story.